you talked about high wage increases actually curbing South Africa's ability to create new employment opportunities. Can you please just elaborate on this and tell us why this is and how this is contributing to some of the inflationary risks in the country?
Okay. Well, so let's start on the inflation side. So if you continuously push up your wages, that's a large part of the input costs of many businesses in South Africa. So, when we had the recession, they had to absorb this price increase because there wasn't demand in the economy. But now, once the economy starts to recover, they're in a better position to pass on these higher input costs to the consumer, because they don't want to absorb it themselves the whole time. So that's how the inflation link works. On the employment front, it's pretty similar. If you continuously push up the cost of labor, you sort of become quite uncompetitive compared with, let's say, the likes of China, India, the countries we compete with in terms of export markets. For example, we sort of pricing ourselves out of the market. So what you sort of find then is there's no incentive for business to really expand their employment because they already, with the existing workforce, they have to pay a lot more. So in terms of trying to rein in costs, it does nothing for employment. So if you just simply plot it on a graph, there's a very inverse relationship between the cost of labor and the amount of people employed.
What can we expect from the Reserve Bank in the near future?
I think the Reserve Bank has been very clear that they're not going to react to the so-called first round effects on inflation, and that is coming from the food and the petrol side. But we're just a bit worried that given what has happened to wages, the electricity prices, there's a lot of cost pressures building up in the economy, which, as I mentioned, to date, business have absorbed those cost pressures, and we don't think that's going to last. So that you, in the next 12 months, even excluding food and oil, that price pressures are likely to start to pick up. And that might then force the Reserve Bank's hand to start to increase interest rates. Currently, our view is before the end of this year.
Okay, and then how does the rand play into this?
Well, the rand has certainly on the inflation front helped us, the fact that it has remained so stable. For the rest of the year, we actually expect it to remain fairly well supported, but from next year you might see a bit more weakness come in, as there might be a bit of a reallocation of global portfolio flows once the advanced markets start to increase their interest rates. Because remember, a lot of capital has flowed to emerging markets now because our interest rates are so much higher than in the rest of the world. That dynamic might start to change around a bit from the second half of next year.